Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Brad Panovich here, getting ready for a big holiday weekend. I know it's only Wednesday, but it's pouring rain in many locations, and it's a very interesting pattern setting up for the next 24 hours because we're going to have a low pressure system form on the coast, and eventually that's going to move away, but it could make for some really interesting weather and really changeable weather across our area. So here's what's happening. We've got a cold front trying to move in from the west. You can see that currently back towards the mountains and over into Tennessee. But we've got low pressure that's going to form here. This coastal low, almost a nor'easter, is going to move up the coast, and this front's going to interact with it. So where does this all set up is going to determine what type of weather we see over the next 24 hours. I do think once this first batch of rain gets east of the Piedmont, we're going to see weather improve, at least temporarily this afternoon, until the secondary low pressure, which is going to form down here over Florida. I can already see the clouds spreading out. You see how the clouds are kind of making this V shape here. This is a sign that low pressure is forming down here. We're getting that to form in the northeastern Gulf. Look at all the cloud to ground lightning. Yeah, we've got low pressure, or what we call cyclogenesis, about to occur down there. So let me show you what this means for our weather going into your Thursday and possibly setting up a beautiful weekend. All right, so we're going to go out for about the next 60 hours on some of the short range guidance. So you can see the front pushing to the east. I do expect things to improve pretty dramatically this afternoon. But tonight, watch what happens to our south. We've definitely got low pressure redeveloping down here. Now, the front itself looks like it's back here. It's going to try to push in, but this is the key. Where does this low pressure go? Does it go this direction? Does it go more this direction? It definitely looks like we're going to see another surge of moisture sometime tonight coming up from the south. And you can see that around 10 o'clock, it does look like the rain picks back up later tonight into the overnight hours. And by 11 o'clock into midnight, we're wet again. So this is what we'll watch. Now, there's still some uncertainty here. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. The back edge of this rain could be there, but it could be here because this could shift this way a little bit, or it could shift this way a little bit. And there's been a trend for this shift to the east the last couple of days. This is actually somewhat new of a trend for it to back up a little bit. Either way, I do anticipate we're going to be back into some clouds, rain later tonight. Now, the question is, what about Thursday? So we go into the wee hours of the morning. Let's stop this at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. Now, the guidance is showing rain back here, but this is probably not going to be this widespread. In fact, I bet there's going to be a really what we call sharp gradient, like where the rain is going to stop right there. But look at all this rain over here. You can see the low pressure is right there near Charleston. The isobars kind of help us pinpoint where it is. So it's right there. And the front is probably right in here. So that's a sharp cutoff of moisture. So this is 7 a.m. Thursday. We'll go to about 10 a.m. You can kind of see that comma head shape to this as this low pressure begins to develop. The low is probably right around Myrtle Beach at this time to Wilmington. Heavy, heavy rain along Interstate 95. But at the same time, the stronger this low gets, right? Counterclockwise flow. It's pulling in a lot of warm, humid air. It's providing a ton of moisture for very heavy rain, especially just ahead of the front. At the same time, that flow on the backside wrapping around is trying to bring in dry air. So that's why you see a pretty abrupt end to the rain back towards the central and western part of the state, probably mid to late morning. So I'd keep the rain chances 20-30% in the morning, but I honestly think it's going to be pretty dry because this will be pulling in so much dry air. As we go through the day Thursday, look how quickly that low moves up the coast. Now, what you're seeing there's the low, right? Here's a big area of high pressure. This is a big sprawling area of high pressure back to the west, right there over Mississippi and Louisiana. Here's your low pressure. So you're going to have some really gusty winds. We call this a pressure gradient. This is basically a valley in the air. This is a mountain in the air, in the atmosphere. The flow around that is like this. And so the pressure gradient, the difference from high to low pressure, this is a mountain, this is a valley. This high pressure is trying to fill in the valley. Think of water trying to fill in a low spot. That water rushes faster when this is a steeper gradient. So this gradient here is creating a lot of wind. So it's going to be super windy, it looks like, as we go through Thursday night into Friday. As the low gets away, the winds eventually will calm down. That high pressure moves in for Friday into Saturday. And the flow of this high pressure, because it's just to our south, you see it down here. I can actually see it on the isobars popping right here. Our flow of air is coming from the southwest or west, and this is the warmest flow of air you can get. So going into the weekend, we're going to see temperatures jump up into the 70s, if not 80 degrees under sunny skies. Beautiful weekend ahead. So this is an ugly pattern for the next 24 hours, let's say, but it sets the stage for a gorgeous, gorgeous weekend. Of course, I'll have more coverage today on wcnc starting at 4, 5, and 6. Watch my social media as well. We'll keep you updated, but the Easter weekend looking great. Just got to get through the next 24 hours.